117 beers in one sitting. Yes, you heard that right. The truth behind the glamour of Hollywood isn't always pretty. Some of the most iconic actors were hiding dark secrets, and their battles with alcohol took a toll on their lives and careers. From shocking addictions to tragic endings, these stars couldn't escape their demons. Stick with us as we reveal the untold stories of the 10 worst alcoholics in Hollywood history. 1. Joan Crawford. Joan Crawford's name still echoes in Hollywood history as a symbol of beauty, talent, and unmatched star power. With iconic films like Mildred Pierce and Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, she captivated audiences with her fierce performances. But behind that glimmering facade, Joan's life was anything but glamorous. Struggling with an intense alcohol addiction, she often resorted to drinking as a way to cope with her overwhelming pressures from fame and personal heartaches. Her alcoholism became notorious, leading her to hide bottles throughout her home and even drink while working on set. This spiraling addiction fueled her already well-known temper and unpredictable behavior, making her a difficult and often frightening presence to be around. As her career progressed, her drinking took a heavy toll on her relationships, none more publicized than the one with her adopted daughter, Christina Crawford. In her memoir, Mommy Dearest, Christina painted a picture of Joan as an abusive mother, contributing to Joan's fall from grace in the public eye. Joan eventually fought to regain some semblance of control, but it was too late. Despite her many struggles, she remained an enduring Hollywood icon. She passed away at the age of 73 in 1977, leaving behind a legacy that's forever intertwined with the dark side of fame and addiction. Joan Crawford's tragic story is a stark reminder of the pressures of living in the spotlight and the consequences of fame's darkest pitfalls. 2. Andre the Giant. Andre the Giant's life story is nothing short of legendary. Standing at an astonishing 7 feet 4 inches and weighing 520 pounds, Andre was a true giant, both in stature and in presence. Born in France as Andre René Roussimoff, he became famous as a wrestler and actor, with one of his most beloved roles being in The Princess Bride. But behind the scenes, Andre struggled with a crippling addiction: alcohol. Due to his immense size, Andre's body required an extreme amount of alcohol to feel any effect, leading to some jaw-dropping drinking feats. It's said that Andre once consumed 119 beers in just 6 hours. His friends, co-workers, and fellow wrestlers often witnessed his intense drinking habits, with many saying it was a way for him to cope with the constant pain of his condition, acromegaly, a disorder that causes excessive growth. Despite being known for his cheerful personality and larger-than-life character, Andre's drinking habits became dangerous. His excesses were often a topic of conversation in the wrestling world, and many remember him as someone who could, quite literally, drink everyone under the table. Sadly, Andre passed away at the young age of 46 from heart failure, which was likely exacerbated by his drinking and immense size. While he may have lived a hard life, his legacy as a true icon of wrestling in Hollywood continues to endure. 3. Cary Grant. Cary Grant, the epitome of charm and elegance during Hollywood's golden age, had a life full of contradictions. Born Archibald Alec Leach in 1904, he came to the United States from England and quickly became one of the biggest movie stars of his time. With his debonair looks and smooth voice, he starred in iconic films such as North by Northwest, Charade, and To Catch a Thief. But behind his polished on-screen persona, Grant struggled with a powerful addiction: alcohol. Despite his outwardly perfect life, Grant had a dark side that he kept hidden from the public eye. His battle with alcoholism started in the 1950s and became so severe that it affected both his personal and professional life. Grant, however, didn't let it ruin his career completely. In an attempt to conquer his drinking, he sought an unconventional treatment: LSD therapy. In the 1950s, this experimental treatment aimed to help him manage his alcoholism, and surprisingly, Grant later claimed that the experience changed his life. He even went on to recommend it to close friends. Although Grant's battle with alcohol was a private matter, it was one that he managed to keep under control as he aged. He would eventually overcome his drinking problems, but not without leaving a trace of struggle. Cary Grant passed away in 1986 at the age of 82. But his legacy as one of Hollywood's greatest remains intact. 4. Dennis Price, born in 1915, was a British actor known for his sharp wit and memorable performances, notably in Kind Hearts and Coronets. However, despite his talent, Price's career was marred by a battle with alcohol, one that ultimately led to his tragic downfall. Price's alcoholism was a well-known issue among his peers, though he kept it largely hidden from the public eye. His struggles were compounded by depression and the weight of unacknowledged homosexuality, a topic that, in the mid-20th century, was difficult to openly discuss. Price's drinking grew more severe as he turned to alcohol to cope with the loneliness and personal pain he was experiencing. At the height of his addiction, Price would often arrive on set already intoxicated, making it increasingly difficult to perform his roles. His drinking not only damaged his health, but also caused him to lose many major roles to younger, more reliable actors. In 1954, his personal struggles reached a breaking point when he attempted suicide, though he was fortunately saved. The end of his career was marked by a series of low-budget films, often made in an attempt to stay afloat. Dennis Price's life came to a tragic end in 1973 when he died of cirrhosis of the liver at the age of 58, a direct result of years of excessive drinking. His final years were spent largely in obscurity, but his performances, especially in Kind Hearts and Coronets, remain a testament to his undeniable talent. 5. Michael Landon. Michael Landon, beloved for his roles in Bonanza, Little House on the Prairie, and Highway to Heaven, was the embodiment of the American family man on screen. However, behind his wholesome image, Landon struggled with a serious drinking problem that plagued his personal life. Landon's drinking began in his early years, often mixing alcohol with painkillers to cope with the pressures of fame. Despite his wholesome portrayal of fatherly figures on television, he frequently drank whiskey in his coffee and vodka in his soda. His co-stars suspected something was off, but no one fully realized the extent of his addiction. Michael Landon's daughter, Melissa Gilbert, later revealed how his alcoholism affected her personally, shaping her relationships as she unknowingly sought out men who shared her father's drinking habits. Though his addiction worsened, Landon continued to work and maintain his image as the kind, loving father. However, in 1991, after being diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, his drinking and smoking habits contributed to the severity of his illness. He passed away at the age of 54, leaving behind a legacy of iconic television roles, but also the painful truth about the darker side of fame. Michael Landon's struggles with alcohol serve as a sobering reminder of how even the most beloved stars can be fighting personal battles that remain hidden from the public eye. 6. Anthony Hopkins. Anthony Hopkins, renowned for his legendary portrayal of Hannibal Lecter in The Silence of the Lambs, has spent decades cementing his place as one of the greatest actors of all time. Yet even the great Hopkins faced his own demons, particularly alcohol. In his younger years, Hopkins battled alcoholism, which manifested in erratic behavior, anger issues, and memory lapses. He once described his drinking as a form of death wish, using alcohol to escape his feelings of emptiness and to numb the pressures of life. For years, he spiraled out of control, finding himself waking up in places he didn't remember, without a clue how he got there. It wasn't until 1975 that Hopkins reached rock bottom and realized the gravity of his addiction. He joined Alcoholics Anonymous and made the decision to turn his life around. With determination and the support of his AA community, he found sobriety, which has lasted for decades. He credits this life-altering choice with not only saving his life, but also elevating his career to new heights. Now, in his 80s, Hopkins remains sober and has used his experiences to inspire others. His story is a testament to the power of self-awareness and the ability to change, even when it seems like there's no way out. Anthony Hopkins' battle with alcoholism didn't just shape him as a man, it profoundly impacted his work, allowing him to bring a deeper level of understanding and nuance to the complex characters he portrayed. 7. Robert Shaw. Robert Shaw, famous for his iconic role as Quint in Jaws, wasn't just a man of the sea on screen. He was a man of excess in real life. Behind the tough exterior, Shaw struggled with an intense alcohol addiction that had a significant impact on both his career and personal life. Known for his powerful presence and commanding performances, Shaw's drinking became legendary, often creating tension on set. While filming Jaws, he frequently clashed with co-stars and crew members due to his volatile behavior when intoxicated. At one point, his co-star Richard Dreyfuss even threw Shaw's drink into the ocean to stop him from drinking during the shoot. Despite these struggles, Shaw's raw talent shone through, making him one of the most memorable actors of his generation. His drinking spiraled further, and it wasn't just his professional relationships that suffered, his health did too. Shaw's excessive consumption of alcohol led to multiple health issues, including heart complications, which ultimately contributed to his untimely death. In 1978, Shaw died of a heart attack at the age of 51. The years of alcohol abuse had taken a toll, and his brilliant career was cut short. Despite his tragic end, Robert Shaw is still remembered for his outstanding performances, particularly in Jaws, which remains a classic to this day. 8. Glenn Ford. Glenn Ford, a Canadian-American actor, became a Hollywood icon through his roles in classic films like Gilda, The Big Heat, and Superman. Known for his charismatic yet serious demeanor, Ford was a leading man in the golden era of Hollywood. However, behind the charming smile was a man battling a growing dependence on alcohol, which would eventually alter both his career and personal life. Ford's drinking problem worsened over the years, despite his success in the industry. He was known to drink heavily every day, and his alcoholism started to affect his work. His personal life, filled with multiple failed relationships, also began to unravel as alcohol took a toll on his health and relationships. The actor's increasingly reckless behavior alienated friends, family, and co-workers. Ford's health began deteriorating as his drinking continued. Despite his immense success in Hollywood, he became less active in the industry, and younger actors began to eclipse him for major roles. In 2006, Ford passed away at the age of 90 after a series of strokes and heart problems. The years of heavy drinking had weakened his body, but his legacy as one of Hollywood's greatest actors remains. Even after his passing, Glenn Ford's films continue to be beloved by fans worldwide. His contributions to the screen will never be forgotten, but his tragic end serves as a cautionary tale about the destructive power of addiction. 9. Drew Barrymore. Drew Barrymore, one of Hollywood's brightest stars, gained fame at a young age with her role in E.T. the Extraterrestrial. As a child, she was thrust into the spotlight, but the intense fame came with its own dark side. Surrounded by a world of parties and indulgence, Barrymore's early life was overshadowed by substance abuse, including heavy alcohol use. By the age of 9, Drew was already drinking, and by 12, she was using cocaine. Her struggles with addiction led her to rehab at the tender age of 14. Despite her efforts to turn things around, alcohol continued to haunt her throughout her youth. Barrymore's personal battles made headlines, but she managed to rebuild her life, becoming a successful actress and TV host in adulthood. Today, Drew is open about her struggles, using her platform to help others facing similar challenges. She's a true inspiration, showing that even after hitting rock bottom, it's possible to rise again. Drew Barrymore's story is a testament to the power of resilience and the importance of facing one's demons head-on. She's now a beacon of hope for those who struggle with addiction, sharing her journey with honesty and grace. From Andre the Giant's painful coping mechanisms to Drew Barrymore's inspiring recovery, the stories of these legendary stars serve as powerful reminders of the dark side of fame. Behind the glitz and glamour of Hollywood, many actors have battled their own personal demons, using alcohol as a crutch to navigate their struggles. These stories aren't just cautionary tales, they're proof of the strength it takes to overcome addiction and the human side of the stars we once idolized. Which of these Hollywood icon stories impacted you the most? Let us know in the comments.